Now, there's too much fallacy surrounding H. pylori, gastritis, and peptic ulcer disease, what is famously called ulcers. You hear somebody say Nikona ulcers. Now, H. pylori is a normal flora that is acquired during early childhood. When I talk about normal flora refers to these beneficial bacteria that help to maintain healthy status of your body. For example, your mouth has normal flora, your stomach has normal flora in form of H. pylori, your vagina, for example, has normal flora in form of lactobacilli, and so forth. So a lot of body organs have normal flora that helps to maintain the health of that organ. Now, this normal flora in your stomach called H. pylori, in some cases they turn to be pathological. That is where you are diagnosed with H. pylori now as a disease, yet this is a normal flora. This is because of the food we consume. Nowadays, we consume a lot of processed food, which has otherwise become a show of affluence when you can go to eateries and you order something, this canned food in your supermarket because they're easy to prepare and so forth. These processed food are laced with chemicals that act as preservatives. Now, when you consume this food, this H. pylori now, which is your immune modulator in your stomach, which is your defense mechanism, they'll sense that there is invasion in the form of these chemicals now. What they do, they tend to over-multiply so that they can overpower the enemy. In so doing, they'll also need food to survive, to conquer the enemy. So the only food available in your stomach for H. pylori is your stomach lining, your mucosal lining. Your stomach, you see, your stomach is made of a mucus lining called the mucosa. This mucosa is a protective layer so that the hydrochloric acid in your stomach will not corrode the walls of your stomach. Now, when these H. pylori now feed on the mucosa of your stomach, now your stomach lining becomes exposed to hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid tends to corrode now your stomach lining. This corrosion of your stomach lining is what we call gastritis, which is characterized by severe burning pain that is normally radiating from your epigastric region. Epigastric is this region here, and at times you feel it at the back or something. Now, this gastritis occurs in two phases, where we have acute gastritis, like I said, which is normally characterized by this burning sensation. And then it's now manifest into what we call chronic gastritis, whereby you lose appetite, there's total loss of weight, there's blood-stained vomiters. Now, when you vomit, you realize your vomiters are stained with blood. This is because now your stomach is now fully eroded. Now, in so doing, because your stomach now is fully eroded, the H. pylori has fed on your stomach lining, they tend to form wounds, which we call ulcers. Now, this is what we call the peptic ulcer disease. You hear somebody say Nikona ulcers. Now, this is a sequence between H. pylori, gastritis, and ulcers. H. pylori is not, when you are diagnosed with H. pylori, it does not mean that you have ulcers. When you are diagnosed with gastritis, acute gastritis, it does not mean that you have ulcers, unless when you are told you have chronic gastritis, which normally will be diagnosed during endoscopy and so forth. That is where now you can safely say that you have ulcers. And then also now we get peptic ulcer disease now, which is also diagnosed in your endoscopy. So that is now the sequence between H. pylori and peptic ulcer disease. There are other conditions within your GIT, gastrointestinal system, that we normally also call them in a blanket term, we call them ulcers. You see, these are layman's language. We call everything that is within your gastrointestinal system ulcers. For example, we have what we call the Zolling-Ellison syndrome. Yes, Zolling-Ellison syndrome we shall discuss later, but it's also a condition in your stomach that is characterized by discomfort, vomiting, burning sensation, and loss of appetite. Then we have what we call gastroesophageal reflux disease. This whereby your pyloric sphincter tends to be incompetent and allows regurgitation of this acidic medium into your esophagus and maybe throat. We shall discuss these in the next post, all these other conditions that we always mistake them as ulcers.